Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Yaje here with another gardening video. Today's video is going to be about how to prevent transplant shock. That is what happens when you transplant your seedlings, your plant seedlings, or even mature plants from one location to the other. It could be your vegetables, your shrubs, your trees, whatever. You move it from one location to the other, and then your plant suffers from transplant shock. So, what can you do to prevent that? Transplant shock happens because you have messed around with the root system of the plant. You have stressed out the roots, and it can show up as the plant wilting. It can show up as yellowing leaves, chlorosis. It can show up as retarded growth or delayed growth, any number of symptoms, and we do not want that. So, what can you do to prevent this? Three things. The first thing is that when you are transplanting your seedlings, your seed starts to the garden, try to do that either in the evening when the sun is not up, like right now, in the evening, or you pick a day when there is an overcast, like a cloudy day. It is not bright and sunny. It will reduce the chances of your plant suffering from that transplant shock. The second thing is that when you're transplanting your plants, what I try to do is I try to get the soil together with the root, like the entire root ball, rather than just taking the plant. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, here's my basil. This is a type of African basil. We call this masepo. And I need to move these out of this container. But if I were to transplant this, I usually use a tool, maybe a spoon like this one, and then I try to dig the entire root system and not just pull it out. Okay, something like this. So I have the root ball along with the rest of the plant like this. So when I transplant this, it has a higher chance of not going through that transplant shock because I have not messed up with the root system as much. The last thing that I do involves the use of some products that can help with preventing that transplant shock. I always show you what I use. This is known as Super Thrive. Super Thrive is supposed to help with preventing or reducing transplant shock. This is the product, Super Thrive, and a little goes a long, long way. In fact, a quarter of a teaspoon per gallon of water is all you need. So you see that you can use it for so many years in your garden. One quarter of a teaspoon to 1 gallon of water. Mix it up, and then you can also add some kind of a water soluble fertilizer and feed your transplant with. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Here's another product that I use, this Miracle Grow Quick Start Planting and Transplant Starting Solution. This provides food to the roots almost immediately as you transplant. That way, your plant does not suffer from that transplant shock. I'll show you how to use both, and I will also show you some plants that I transplanted recently, and you'll see that they did not undergo that transplant shock. All right, guys, so this is water, 2 gallons of water, and that is my Super Thrive. Okay. I happen to know that this cupful is half a teaspoon. This cupful, because we only need a quarter teaspoon per gallon. So this cupful is half a teaspoon because I have 2 gallons of water. I put that in there. And then because you can use this with any fertilization program, I also follow the instructions here, and then I add a dilute solution of my transplant fertilizer, and this sets up my transplants for growth, and it prevents that transplant shock. Okay, let's go and water the bitter leaves that I transplanted. So these are my bitter leaves that I transplanted. And then I mulch with grass. So feed it with. Okay. Guys, these are some of my sweet bitter leaves that I transplanted yesterday. As you can see, no transplant shock. See that? I'm gonna go show you my ewedu that I transplanted as well. See my jute leaves, my Nigerian jute leaf plants that I transplanted. They didn't suffer from any transplant shock. See that? Okay. I hope that helps, guys. So guys, that's how I prevent transplant shock in my garden. I either transplant in the evening or on a day when there is an overcast. When I transplant, I try to get the entire root ball. And then the third thing that I do is I use the Super Thrive or the transplant solution or a mixture of both. If this video has added some value to you, you know what I will ask. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, interact with the video in some form or fashion. But most importantly, grow a garden, because when you grow a garden, you grow health. Happy gardening, everybody. Bye bye.